can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. When Steph hit that clutch three with about 14 seconds left, that was an assist from you. And after he sank that bucket, he looked right at you. What was that moment of communication like?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't if you know anything about basketball or anything about me, if I'm finding Steph, that's just whether he get a good shot off or a bad shot off, he gonna get a shot off. So that's just kind of what it boils down to for me, and he knows that, and I think that was that look, like that's who I'm finding, and I would have spent the rest of that shot clock trying to find him. That's just what it is.
You guys have had several kind of like late game close losses this season. Is it nice to, even though you obviously kind of did give away that lead, to pull out a win in a situation like that?
Yes. Like you said, there's been a ton of games where, we've had the lead and let it go, where we've made a comeback and kind of let go of the rope at the end. So, to close out a game like that against a very good team, that was big for us, especially, we're coming down the stretch, and the reality is there'll probably be more games like that. And so, to kind of get that one under our belt was good.
Draymond, what does it mean for you specifically to be playing games at this stage of the season that matter?
I can play better when they matter. When they don't matter, it's a little tougher, so I enjoy. I'm enjoying these games. They matter, and you have to get up for them. So, this is fun for me for sure. It's been a while since we played some games late in the season that really mattered.
Is this Utah-Phoenix back-to-back good for you guys in several ways maybe?
I think so. Two teams that we could end up facing, here in the next week, so, to get familiar with these guys coming down the stretch is great. Obviously, Utah is missing some important guys. So, regardless if we see them or not, they'll look a little different than they look tonight. But in saying that, you still get a chance to see their patterns, the things that they like to get to. And so I think that'll help us out. Like I said, regardless of which one of these teams we face, I think it'll help us a lot, especially with such a young team who, is still getting to know these guys, as opposed to, I've been in 9, Steph's been in 12. Like, these guys. But, when you got like a Jordan Poole or, Mikey Mulder, Juan, younger guys who haven't seen these guys a bunch, I think this is great for them coming down the stretch as well.
You mentioned Jordan Poole. So, just how important is it or big is it for you guys to get contributions scoring-wise from guys not named Steph Curry like Jordan Poole? Very important. I think he finished with 20 tonight, which is great. I always talk to Jordan about, being confident when you open, take them shots, confident kid, as I've spoke plenty of times, works his ass off. So it's always great to see him have these moments and all the work that he put in paying off. It's definitely not by accident. Kid works his ass off, so he deserved to have these moments. And obviously we can use them.
Draymond, Steve said that this is one of your best seasons of your career. We all know how last season went, and I guess to double down on what Monty asked, what is it about stakes that gets you going? What is it about these types of moments that get you going?
I guess some people are just wired a little differently. For me, I love to play in games that matter. When the stakes are higher, it gets me going. It's kind of give you that extra push. It makes you look past the fatigue. It makes you look past the times when stuff aren't going great out there. Because the bigger picture is this game matters. And so I don't know, man. I've always been that kid. Growing up, and obviously now, becoming a man, that when it matters, I just enjoy it a little more, and it just give you that extra boost. Well, at least that's what it does for me.
Would you agree that this is one of your best seasons in your career?
I think I'm having a really good year. Is it the best in my career? I don't know. But I think I am having a really good year, all things considered, and starting to play even better down the stretch, which is important. So yeah, I mean, could be, but overall, I think I'm having a pretty good year.
At what point during the game did you learn that Memphis had beaten New Orleans, and did that give you guys a little bit of that extra push, or do you not really look at what the other teams are doing until afterwards?
I didn't know during the game. I didn't know till after the game. Our focus is on us. We can't focus on another team losing to somebody else. At the end of the day, we take care of business these last 3 games, and we can control where we end up as far as this play-in tournament goes. So it's really unnecessary to worry about another team. Somebody, throw the dogs a bone, then great, we'll take it. But it's nothing to really look at and see if they lost, because at the end of the day, if they lost tonight and they won the rest, we still need to beat them when we play them. So, yeah, I think it don't really matter. So I did not know till way after.
That being said, are you looking up at all at who might be there at 7?
I think as a basketball fan, it's exciting. Just to kind of see that play out. What is it, Dallas, Portland, and LA? Just kind of seeing how that plays out. I think that's fun to watch. It's exciting. So from that standpoint, yes. I'd also like to know what city I'm going to whenever we do play. So that's cool.
A fan of the play-in tournament as we get closer, or no?
No, I don't give a damn about the play-in tournament. I care about the game. We want to win the game, compete in the playoffs. But I don't give a damn about this play-in tournament. It is what it is.
Dre, Mark had his clutch point. Steve said earlier in his mind that this year you're the defensive player of the year. When you look across and you see Rudy Gobert, he's obviously one of the candidates. Is the defensive player of the year award almost just as controversial as winning the MVP?
I think it's very controversial. I think, it's not always – it doesn't always go to the most impactful player on defense, So I take that back. It's not very controversial because no one in the world gives a damn about defense. So it doesn't create as much controversy because no one cares about defense, as if it doesn't win games and championships. But it's also a little tougher to evaluate, because on offense, you evaluate by assists, you evaluate by points. At times, defense is evaluated by blocks and steals, but that doesn't necessarily tell the story. Some of the worst defenders in NBA history has led the league in steals, or been right up there in that category of top 3. Steph just raised his hand. I don't think Steph's one of the worst defenders in NBA history, and especially not this year, locking shit up. But you can get steals, you can get blocks, you can do those things. And I know people will try to make this about Rudy Gobert. Feel free to make it about Rudy if you want. It's not, but whatever. But you can get steals, you can get blocks, and that cannot tell the story. So it doesn't quite go hand in hand. As you can get assists and you can get points, and it doesn't tell the story. So I forgot what your question was and what the hell I was talking about, but whatever I just said, I hope it answered your question.
Who do you think is defensive player of the year?
Is who?
Who do you think should be defensive player of the year?
Anthony, you know me well, buddy. Y'all have a great night.
So that means it's you?
All right.
Basketball, I think you think it's me.